Hi, I'm Mr. Kangas, and today we're going to be talking about Chapter 2, Section 2, adding integers. When it comes to adding integers, there are really two types of problems you're going to see. You're going to see problems that have the same signs and problems that have different signs. And again, when we're talking about integers, we're talking about positive numbers and negative numbers. So we're going to be adding we're going to have addition problems that have both positive and negative numbers in them. Now, when I'm talking about same sign problems, I'm talking about problems that have two negatives or two positives. When you have two negatives or two positives, the rules are: first off, you're going to add the numbers. And secondly, you're going to keep the sign. So, essentially, if you know how to add, this same sign problems aren't really very difficult. Every one of us grew up doing same sign problems. We grew up in an elementary school. We learned how to add two positive numbers together. So for example, 3 plus 5 we all know is 8. When you have two negative numbers, such as negative 3 plus negative 5, it really isn't any different from the positive numbers, other than your answer is negative. So you still get 8 for an answer, but you get negative 8 for an answer. So negative 3 plus negative 5 gets you negative 8. So we're adding the numbers 3 and 5, and we're keeping the sign. So down here the sign was negative, up here the sign was positive. So we added the 3 and the 5 in both situations and got 8, and then we kept the signs. So when you're talking about same sign problems, two negatives or two positives, you just add the numbers like you normally would, and you keep the sign. Now, some of us may be asking, well, why does that work? Okay, and the best way to explain it is by looking at a number line. So if we take a look down here for a moment, I'm going to draw a quick number line to show you how these two problems work. Okay, so we have 0 here, we have negative 8, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. I'm not going to continue on because we're going to start at negative 3, we're going to add negative 5 to it, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Here's an 8, a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now, if we were doing 3 plus 5, you start at 3, and you add positive 5 to it. And when you add a positive number, it moves you to the right on your number line. So we're starting at 3, and we're adding a positive 5. So that's going to move us to the right 5 spaces, and that's going to bring us all the way up to positive 8. Now, when you add a negative number like we need to do in the bottom problem, when we add a negative 5, instead of moving us to the right, it's going to do the opposite, and that's going to move us to the left 5 spaces. And if you take a look at the number line, the positive number line, when it's moving to the right, as you move further to the right, the numbers go up. If you take a look at the negative side of the number line, the same exact thing is happening. As you move to the left, the numbers are going up. We still go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, etc. So the numbers move up and in the same order. So as you move from negative 3 left 5 spaces, it's going to mimic moving right 5 spaces on the right side from positive 3. The only difference is your numbers are going to be negative over here, positive over here. Now, obviously there's a big difference between negative 8 and positive 8. I'd rather have $8 in my pocket than owe somebody $8. Value-wise, as these numbers go up, okay, as the negative numbers go up, their value goes down. That's the only difference. As the positive numbers go up, their value goes up. Okay, most people don't like being in the negative because then the value's down. It typically means you're in debt or you're lacking something that you need or want. So again, when you have same signs, you just add the numbers and keep the sign, because when you're going from one negative to a bigger negative, it functions the same way as going from one positive to a bigger positive. The next video we're going to discuss what you do when you face different signs. So when you have a positive and a negative. The rules are a little bit different, but it really isn't much more complicated. So in the next video we'll be talking about different signs.